Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE, and we are here with the Go Home shows heading into the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble next episode going to be massive and very good, I hope. But before then, we have one more episode of Raw, NXT and Smackdown each to get through, and we're kicking off things as usual with Monday Night Raw, which begins with the contract signing for the Royal Rumble's Women's World Championship match between the champion Sasha Banks and the challenger Bayley. And Bayley says that she doesn't know what happened to Sasha. They were best friends, they were partners. Hell, even as recently as like SummerSlam, they were partners. And Sasha does what she always ends up doing. She got obsessed. She got obsessed with the women's world title. She got obsessed with being the best, like she says she is. And she lost focus of things that actually matter, all in pursuit of that title, and that title alone. And Bayley says she misses her friend, but she knows there's only one way to snap Sasha Banks out of this. There's only ever been one way to snap Sasha Banks out of this, and that is beating her, and that is taking that title away from her. And so Bayley says that's what she's going to do. She says at the Royal Rumble, she's going to beat Sasha Banks, and she's going to take that Women's World Championship away from her, and hopefully get her friend back. And Sasha Banks just kind of laughs and says that she slummed it with Bayley in the tag division for long enough as is, but now she's where she deserves to be, at the top, because she is the blueprint, the best, the boss, for a reason. She's the Women's World Champion for a reason. She's top of the food chain, top of the pyramid, of the hierarchy, of this division, of this brand, of this company for a reason. That's because Sasha Banks is the best there is. No one can go toe-to-toe with Sasha Banks. Not Shayna Baszler, not Raquel Gonzalez, and definitely not Bayley. So Bayley can come at the best. She can come at the boss. She can bring everything she's got, but come the end of their match in the Royal Rumble, the result will only go one way, and that is Sasha Banks still the best, still the boss, still at the top, still the Women's World Champion for a 90. Both women signing their contract, the match official and set, and hopefully, like these segments between them, will be very, very good. That 90, a good rating to kick things off. Before next up, we have the first match this evening, a 6-man tag team match that's been building for a while. On one side, you have Aleister Black, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet. Aleister Black been feuding with the Hurt Business since arriving on Raw in the draft. Cedric and Ricochet, formerly of the Hurt Business, but kicked out for their opponents tonight. The 3 new members of the Hurt Business, Dio Madden, Ezra Judge, and Moose, all looking to prove their worth, with MVP Lashley and Dawkins at ringside. In the end, the winning team is Black, Alexander, and Ricochet. Aleister Black in the end pinning Dio Madden with a black mass for a 60. The Hurt Business, the lads give it their all. Moose and Black go at each other for large portions of the match. In the end, though, Aleister Black taking Cedric and Ricochet, taking out Judge and Moose at ringside with some over-the-top rope action, and Black hitting the black mass on Madden for the win. A 60 rating. The match really brought down by that 24 from Judge and 39 from Madden. Other than that, though, 52 from Moose, pretty good. 71 Alexander, 77 Ricochet, and 83 from that man, Aleister Black. Aleister Black looked excellent out there as well. I'll take that. You know, building up these new Hurt Business members, they're going to take a while to get their in-ring performances up, so it's got to be patient. And then after the match, Aleister Black gets a mic, and he makes it very clear. He says he will see Lashley at the Royal Rumble for an 85. Black versus Lashley at the Rumble, 1-on-1. Black's been waiting to get his hands on Lashley. He'll finally get it. Who will come out on top? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, just like the Women's World Title match, if the segment ratings are anything to go by, it should be a really good match. Before we head backstage to Frederick Fairchild and The Miz arguing, going back and forth. They're both ready for the Royal Rumble come Sunday. They both believe that they will win it. They're both ready for their match tonight, a triple threat match. Fairchild versus The Miz versus Kyle O'Reilly. And Drake Maverick walks up to him and says he's been looking for him everywhere. And he tells them that they both say they're ready for tonight, they're ready for the Rumble. And Maverick says he's glad to hear that because he wants Kyle O'Reilly ready. He wants Kyle O'Reilly prepared if he's going to be number 1 at the Rumble. He wants O'Reilly to represent Raw well, entering so early. And Maverick says he needs O'Reilly to be prepared, and so he needs Miz and Fairchild to give their all in this triple threat match tonight. And so here's what we're going to do. Maverick tells them that if either man wins tonight, then they will be number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Drake Maverick says the numbers have been drafted and that Monday Night Raw has the number 30. And Maverick says that if Miz wins or Fairchild wins the triple threat match, then that man will get the number 30. Fairchild and Miz very happy and very confident of that news for 68. And in the triple threat match, in the end, Fairchild and Miz both scrambling constantly to try and get a pin, roll-ups constantly, trying to come out on top to get that number 30, and perhaps that distracts them a bit too much because in the end, Kyle O'Reilly is the man who picks up the win, locking Frederick Fairchild in the ankle lock, and Fairchild no choice in the end but to tap out for an 86. What a match. Kyle O'Reilly on the form of his life heading into the Royal Rumble and post that War Games win he got. 85 O'Reilly, 72 Miz, 66 Fairchild. Very happy with this, very excited for that Royal Rumble match. Before we go backstage to Johnny Gargano in the locker room, he's getting ready for the tag title match later tonight, and he turns and he sees Tommaso Ciampa walk in, and Ciampa clutching the hardcore title to his chest as he always does, and he says to Gargano, he didn't need him 2 weeks ago, he didn't need him last week, but yet here they are again, teaming together, a Raw tag title match, and Ciampa is just here to remind Gargano one more time that they are not a team. They are not DIY. It's just Ciampa and Gargano. And they can go out there and they will be Ciampa and Gargano and they can both get some more championship gold around their waist, but we are not a team. DIY is dead, Johnny. For a 90, Ciampa still very insistent and still refusing to get distracted by any DIY shenanigans in the midst of this hardcore championship reign of his. Before we have a little promo video from Ember Moon and Io Shirai. Both women are ready for the Royal Rumble. Ember Moon, former Money in the Bank winner most recently and Women's World Champion. And she says she won Money in the Bank and now she's ready to win the Rumble, go to Mania and get her Women's World title back. Whilst Io Shirai says that this is her moment. She has been waiting, she has been dominating this women's division for far too long to not have been acknowledged yet. And so come the Rumble, she will come out on top, she will win, she will go to Mania, she will get some gold for 71. And then they go head to head, and in the end, it is Io Shirai who picks up the win with a moonsault for an 80. 82 Shirai, 71 Moon. Very happy with this. Both women doing very well as Io Shirai gets out on top heading into the Rumble. And then Caleb Braxton interviewing Kyle O'Reilly, and O'Reilly says that at the Rumble he is ready. He says he doesn't want to be number one, but he's gonna be. And he says he's going out there not to take part, but to take over and to win. He says that he's been training these past few weeks constantly, non-stop with Bobby and Roddy. And he says he's had these matches as well. Again, Maverick throwing everyone at him and he's coming out on top. And that's what he's going to do at the Rumble. O'Reilly says, even from number one, he's not going to give up. He's not going to give in. He's going all the way to WrestleMania for a 73. Very good promo from Kyle O'Reilly, even entering at number one, is ready for the Rumble. Before we have the main event for the Raw Tag Team Championships, the triple threat tag team match between the champions, the Celtic Warriors, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, taking on not DIY, but just the Intercontinental Champion Johnny Gargano and Hardcore Champion Tommaso Ciampa, and the Broserweights Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. And in the end, Johnny comes in and hits a super kick on Riddle. Ciampa taking him down as well. They managed to get Matt Riddle down to his knees, and the crowd going wild. Gargano looks at Ciampa, and Ciampa looking at Riddle for looking at Gargano. And though he has refused constantly, he can see it, he can feel it. Gargano and Ciampa both get into their corners, and they both get ready to hit Riddle with the meeting in the middle, and they both charge him when out of nowhere Sheamus rolls in the ring and hits a bro kick onto Gargano, laying him out, and it stuns Ciampa. He gets distracted when out of nowhere McIntyre slides in and clocks Ciampa with a Claymore and covers him for the 1-2-3. The Celtic Warriors retaining their Raw Tag Team Championships, and Ciampa being pinned, having been distracted by the DIY shenanigans he refused to be distracted by, for an 83. Good match. 94 Gargano, 90 Ciampa, 87 Riddle, 80 McIntyre, 79 Dunne, 65 Sheamus. Everyone doing amazing in this match, may I say. As in the end, Kelly Warriors retain their gold, and after the match, Gargano goes to help up Ciampa, and Ciampa shoves him off before exiting the ring, taking his Hogoton, going up the ramp. He's not happy. He allowed himself to get distracted, and look what happened. He got pinned. He got pinned 1, 2, 3 by Drew McIntyre, of all people, and he's pissed about it for an 82. Ciampa not happy. Before we had the final segments of the night of Raw heading into the Royal Rumble, the WWE Championship contract signing, Adam Cole and Kevin Owens. Adam Cole asking Kevin Owens, he got what he wanted last week. He won. Congratulations. And Adam Cole asking Kevin what stipulation he's going to beat him in. And Kevin Owens laughs and says that, Adam, I don't need a stipulation to beat you. So it's just a normal, regular match, Kevin Owens says while signing the contract. Because no matter the rules, no matter stipulations, I will beat you, Adam. I beat Kyle multiple times. I beat Roddy multiple times. I beat Bobby multiple times. I beat you already, and I'm going to do it again at the Rumble. And this time when I do it, I leave with that WWE Championship. And Adam Cole laughing and saying that a normal match. Really, Kevin? Okay, if that's what you want, because that suits me just fine, because we both know I'm the better wrestler. We both know that nobody on this planet can go toe-to-toe in this ring with Adam Cole, baby, let alone you, Kevin. So, if that's all you want, then so be it. But just know, come the Royal Rumble, I'm going to out-skill you. I'm going to outpace you. I'm going to out-wrestle you. And I'm going to beat you and retain my WWE Championship, because it is just that simple. Adam Cole says while signing the contract. And Kevin Owens, once seeing he signed the contract, hands the contract to Drake Maverick and kind of laughs, saying that, Adam, you're such an idiot. And I'm questioning him, and Kevin saying that you just signed that without even looking at it. You see, Adam, I noticed something about you. You say you're the best in the world, sure, but you can't help but get your little lapdogs involved, can you? Bobby, Roddy, and Kyle, can you? No. And so we can't have that happening at the Rumble now, can we? So at the Royal Rumble, it's just a normal match, you know, DQs, countouts, submissions, pinfalls, all of it, but a little amendum, Adam. And that is that if you are disqualified, or if you are counted out, or if any members of the Undisputed Era get involved, then you lose that WWE Championship. And Adam Cole, not happy. Calling Kevin Owens a son of a bitch, going out, shoving the table to the side, running at Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens just powering Adam Cole up and hitting him with the pop-up powerbomb through the table before laughing at him again. Kevin then reaching down and grabbing the WWE title and raising it above his head, above the fallen Adam Cole for the 100. Really good end to the show. Kevin Owens heading into the Rumble standing tall here. Usually not a good sign, but who knows? He's been on the form of his life. It could go either way come Rumble. 88 overall rating for Raw. Increased top up in one region. Very happy with that. A very good episode of Raw heading into the Royal Rumble, and hopefully we can keep this momentum going and have another high rating heading into the Royal Rumble with the Go Home episode of NXT. And this Go Home episode of NXT gets underway with the contract signing for the NXT Women's Championship match between Tegan Nox and the Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. And Tegan Nox says she's ready to win back that title she lost at SummerSlam, ready to beat Raquel Gonzalez once again. She pinned her at War Games, and at the Royal Rumble she pins her one-on-one. She gets that NXT title back. She proves that Raquel Gonzalez isn't the top dog around here. She proves that a bully like Raquel Gonzalez can't stay at the top of the NXT Women's Division for too long. And Raquel Gonzalez just kind of laughs and says that at the Royal Rumble, she's going to pound the puny little Tegan Nox into the mat. Tegan Nox is all alone at the Rumble. No Lynch, no Flair, no one there to help her or support her like War Games. It's one-on-one. And when it's one-on-one, Raquel Gonzalez will destroy Tegan Nox for a 67. They both signed the contract, the match official and ready, and hopefully it will be very good come the Royal Rumble. Then we have a first match of the evening between Austin Theory and Kalisto. And in the end, Austin Theory keeps up this little winning streak that he's had going with the roll up on Kalisto. Kalisto goes high. Austin Theory catches him in the air, rolls him up, and gets the win. A 69 for the match. Good little rating. 66 Kalisto, 63 Theory. Happy with this as Theory picks up the victory. And we then head backstage to Mickie James being interviewed. And she says last week she beat Indy Hartwell. And tonight she's going to beat Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi keeps wanting to get involved in Mickie James's business when someone like her, she has no place in Mickie James's business. Mickie James is a legend, and Shotzi Blackheart is nothing. And Mickie James says she's going to make that point incredibly clear, even more so tonight when she beats Shotzi Blackheart for a 66. Nice little promo here from Mickie James. NXT at the moment is kind of going through a rebuilding phase. I mean, he's got some very good stuff like Andrade and like Cesaro, Chad Gable, Randy Orton when he's here, and others. But a lot of it, like DFG, like a bit trying to build up the women's division a bit more here. You know, it's going to be lower ratings, but still, 69 for the first match, 66 for this. Happy with that. We then go backstage. 2 comments from the NXT General Manager William Regal on the match for the NXT title at the Rumble. A no holds barred match, contract signing later tonight, and Regal says that he has faith in his NXT champion. He doesn't want to wish any ill will on any of his superstars, but he hopes that Chad Gable can really smack some sense into Timothy Thatcher for his actions recently for a 52. Okay, little backstage segment from the manager, William Regal. Before we have a match announced last week, it is a battle of 2 big guys. It's Anthony Ogogo, the Olympic medalist, taking on Dexter Lumis. DFG in one corner, Dream and Scott in the other. Ogogo versus Lumis. Not to sound too Eddie Hearn here, but one of these guys is getting knocked out. And in the end, the man who is knocked out is Dexter Lumis. Anthony Ogogo, the Olympic medal winning boxer, in the end gets his punch off and knocks out Dexter Lumis for a 59. 58 Lumis, 40 Ogogo. Happy with this. Anthony Ogogo with a massive win here over Lumis. And then after the match, DFG celebrating with Ogogo up the ramp. Ogogo, NXT North American Champion Hayes, Reddin, Cassidy, Cargill, and Trick Williams. While Scott and Dream look on as, I mean, Dream's protection detail here. Dexter Lumis knocked clean out by Anthony Ogogo for a 63 on the post. Happy with that. Show doing okay so far. We then go to Kayla Braxton interviewing Austin Theory, and Austin Theory is in a happy, upbeat mood. He says he's doing it. He's on this run. He's doing it. He's taking it to the Rumble. He's going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going all the way to WrestleMania, baby. World Champion Austin Theory is coming. Oh, it's going to be so damn good for a 62. Austin Theory in a very upbeat mood, very confident of his chances at the Rumble with his run of form he's found himself on. Before we have the earlier mentioned match between Mickie James and Shotzi Blackheart. James cheated to beat Hartwell last week. Shotzi making a save after the match. And now the two going head to head once more. And in the end, Shotzi Blackheart gets the win over Mickie James, hitting her with that diving senton. James tried to cheat again, but Shotzi Blackheart managed to stop her, managed to counter, hit the senton and get the win for a 56. 51 James, 50 Blackheart. Happy with this as Shotzi gets the win over James. We then have a little promo video from a new group coming soon. Hashtag trending. Grayson Waller talking through it. He says, in this group, we have the one-man highlight reel, Reggie. And you have little clips of, Reggie doing his flips, doing his tricks. And Grayson Waller then hyping up the 2 other members of the group. He says, the powerhouse duo of Persia Pirotta and Tiffany Stratton. 2 ladies who are as equally strong as they are beautiful. And of course, you can't forget reality TV superstar sensation, a man who, whatever he does, is exactly what this group is. Hashtag trending. Grayson Waller coming soon to NXT for a 34. Obviously, all of these superstars need to be built up, but a new faction arriving on NXT soon, and hopefully once they get built up, some big things for them going forward. before we have a little promo from Cesaro and MSK. They're ready for the main event tonight. Main event, Cesaro and MSK versus Legado. And Cesaro says he beat Andrade last week. And with MSK by his side, he knows he's going to beat Legado for an 81. Nice little promo. Cesaro and MSK. Nice little team. Cesaro teamed with the Mysterios at War Games, now teaming with MSK tonight with Trey McGriffin currently out of it following Legado actions. Before we have another match next up, Damian Priest taking on Jinder Mahal, and Damian Priest in the end picks up the win with the Razor's Edge for a 78. Good match. 73 Priest, 62 Mahal. Damian Priest picks up the win before we have a promo from Legado, Andrade, Zelina Vega, Santos, Escobar, and Humbero, Carrillo. And Legado already, Andrade is not in a good mood. He says that he thought they dealt with MSK, but if MSK want to keep playing games, then okay. But tonight, they properly deal with Cesaro like Andrade would have last week. And they deal with MSK once and for all for an 82. Good promo from Legado. Legado, a real focal point of NXT as they run the Cruiserweight division, and they hope beat and finally deal with Cesaro and MSK tonight. Before we have another promo from Damian Priest being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. He is happy, he is in a good mood as well, and he says he's going to the Rumble and he's going to win it. And he says after he wins it, when his name lives forever in the annals of history as a Rumble winner and as a man who main evented WrestleMania, he's going to have the biggest party ever, and everyone is invited, especially you. Kayla gives her a little wink for a 90. Damian Priest, incredible on the mic there. Before we have the main event between Legado, the Cruiserweight and Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions Andrade, Humbero, Carrillo, and Santos Escobar, taking on Cesaro and MSK, Wesley and Nash Carter. And in the end, Cesaro and MSK get a shock upset victory here. Nash Carter rolling up Humberto Carrillo, and Andrade, Santos Escobar not quick enough to break the pin. And 80 for that as MSK and Cesaro get the win. 94 Andrade, incredible. 77 Cesaro, 70 Santos Escobar, 68 Carrillo, 56 Nash, 56 Lee. Happy with that. Good main event here. Afterwards, Cesaro and MSK celebrating, and MSK signalling to Legado that they're coming for those Cruiserweight tag titles. They're getting those tag titles around their waist. Andrade still looking not very happy, to say the least, for an 82. Before it's time to end the show with the NXT Championship match contract signing between the NXT Champion Chad Gable and Timothy Thatcher. And Chad Gable says that no holds barred at the Royal Rumble, Timothy Thatcher pays for what he did to Randy Orton at NXT TakeOver War Games, what he did to Regal, what he was going to do to Jason Jordan. Gable says that he doesn't want to wish ill will on anyone, but at the Rumble, no limits. He's going to make Thatcher pay. He's going to keep the NXT title. And Thatcher laughing and says Chad Gable made the biggest mistake of his career accepting this match, and then he managed to one-up it, to make an even bigger mistake in making it no holds barred. Thatcher says there are no limits. There's no stopping it. Thatcher says he's going to break Gable limb from limb and take the NXT Championship as they sign the contract. And Chad Gable leaving the ring before he can let his anger get the better of him against Thatcher here for a 100. The rating's been up and down, you know, all the building people and that, but good to end the show on a 100. Gable Thatcher has been really good, and hopefully the match in the Rumble will be good as well. It gets that 100. I'm very happy with that. Overall rating wise, NXT, the Go Home episode, gets an 87, really carried by that 100 contract signing and the 90 promo from Priest. I'm very happy. Decent show, you know, a lot of low ratings, but once again, got to build people up. I'm fine with that, you know. 87 overall, increased our pop in 4 regions. Very happy. And hopefully we can have one more high rating in the last Go Home show heading into the Royal Rumble. Yes, it is time for Smackdown. And SmackDown gets underway with the Women's Universal Championship match contract signing. One side of the table, the challenger Asuka, and the other, the champion Shayna Baszler, of course, joined by her No Mercy squad mates Sonya Deville and Taynara Conti. And both women of few words, but I mean, both women dominated NXT for large spells. They fought previously within the last year at the previous WrestleMania, where Asuka defeated Shayna Baszler in a triple threat match. She makes that very clear, reminding her, saying she took one title off her, she'll take another. And Shayna Baszler laughing and saying that, no. Saying that she's gonna beat Asuka. Saying that she will give Asuka one of three choices. Asuka can tap, she can nap, or she will snap. They signed the contract, the match official and set, and hopefully very good. A very strong card for the Royal Rumble, which as usual we will go over at the end of the episode. 86 for that segment, very good. Then the opener here, Samoa Joe overcoming Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed setting up for the tsunami, diving off the top rope, but Samoa Joe rolling out the way. Bronson Reed just slamming into the mat, and Samoa Joe getting up and locking the coquina clutch on Reed. No strength to fight out of it, tapping in the end as Joe gets the win for the 80. 74 Reed, 72 Joe, both doing really well. As Samoa Joe comes out on top here, heading into the Royal Rumble. We have a little backstage promo from Deonna's little group here. Of course, Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, Frankie Monet, Aaliyah and Lana. And Deonna Purrazzo says she is the $1 million champion, but that's not enough for her. So she says on Sunday she's going to win the Royal Rumble and get a world title match for WrestleMania, and then in February she's going to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with Chelsea Green, and then WrestleMania Night 1 Deonna Purrazzo will win the Women's Tag Team title with Chelsea Green, and she'll retain her $1 million title, and then on Night 2 she'll win whichever women's title she wants, and then by the end of WrestleMania she won't just be Deonna Purrazzo, she'll be Deonna Purrazzo, the champ, free belts Purrazzo, because she's that damn good for a 74. Purrazzo making her intentions clear heading to Mania. And then we have a promo of another man doing just that, Roman Reigns, and he's very short, very succinct. He says that he will win the Royal Rumble. He says that the Royal Rumble, the bloodline shows their dominance. When he wins the Royal Rumble match, the Usos win the tag titles. Naomi or Nia Jax wins the Women's Rumble, and come WrestleMania when the Bloodline have all the gold, everyone will have to acknowledge him as the tribal chief for a 100. Amazing promo work from Roman Reigns, as you'd expect, to be honest. Before, we have a tag team match as Deonna Purrazzo looks to illustrate what her and Chelsea Green plan to do in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, teaming up against two local talents here, and of course getting the win. Purrazzo forcing Amanda Fox to submit with the Fujiwara armbar for a 56. Good match considering it's just two local talent against 70 Purrazzo, really good. 40 Chelsea Green, 26 Mistress Belmont, and 24 Amanda Fox. Happy with that. Okay little match considering everything. As then we go to the locker room, Keith Lee and Finn Balor talking, teaming up in the main event later against Bullard brand members Apollo Crews and Cameron Grimes. And Finn Balor, he thanks Keith Lee for helping take down the Bullard brand last week, and Keith Lee says no bother. Keith Lee says that he will enjoy watching Finn Balor defeat Thaddeus Bullard come the Royal Rumble and win the Universal Championship, and he hopes Finn Balor will enjoy watching Keith Lee win the Royal Rumble match and head to WrestleMania. And then Lee saying that he cannot wait to fight Finn Balor in the main event of WrestleMania for that Universal Championship. And that match will be legendary. But reminding Balor, but when that match happens, Balor will lose that Universal Championship and instead have to bask in Keith Lee's glory for another 100. Amazing promo work from the guys you'd expect amazing promo work for, honestly. Before we have an interview with Samoa Joe, Caleb Braxton asking Joe about his win earlier, and Joe laughing and saying it's not a surprise, he knew he'd beat Reed. Reed, he's not Samoa Joe. He can try to be, but he's not. And that's why he won tonight. That's why if he's got to do it at the Rumble, he'll do it at the Rumble as well, because Samoa Joe says it's his time, it's his moment. He's been waiting around for too long. He's winning this Rumble. He's finally getting a world title around his waist where it belongs for a 92. Another amazing promo. The promo is just excellent. I don't know if I have to say it anymore. Before next up, we have a 4v4 tag team match featuring the 4 teams that will be competing in the Smackdown Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match at the Royal Rumble. On one side, you have the Bullard Brand members LA Knight and Socrates Torres, as well as United States Champion Xavier Woods and Mustafa Ali. And on the other side, you have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, as well as Big E and Kofi Kingston of the New Day. 8 incredible competitors going at it here. And in the end, Big E gets the missile focus on Xavier Woods, chasing him around the ring, chasing him into the ring, ready to attack him. Xavier Woods in the corner waiting for him. And Big E very much too distracted as he doesn't notice the legal man LA Knight sneak up behind him, grab him, and hit him with the BFT before covering him for the win. As the Bullard Brand, Xavier Woods and Mustafa Ali come out on top here for a 77. Really good match. 84 Big E, 80 Socrates Torres, 78 Jey Uso, 73 Woods, 73 Jimmy, 72 Kofi, 65 LA Knight, 45 Mustafa Ali. All doing really well here as Knight, Torres, Woods and Ali get out on top here, get their arms raised. Kingston after the match checking on Big E, making sure he's alright, when Mustafa Ali takes the opportunity to attack him from behind, beating down on Kofi Kingston, leaving him laying out before leaving the ring and joining a smiling Xavier Woods as they head up the ramp for an 82. Woods and Ali continuing their attacks of the New Day. Ali targeting Kofi Kingston very specifically here, looking for revenge on Kingston. As Ali says, stealing his spot. He says it shouldn't have been Kofi Mania, it should have been Ali Mania, and wanting revenge on Kingston, stealing that from him. Happy with the work here. Looking forward to that Smackdown Tag Title match, which I really wish wasn't happening, because, you know, I'd rather Spanish Fly not be injured, but it is what it is at the end of the day. As then we have a special preview video for the Royal Rumble matches, highlighting some of the massive superstars taking place. The Men's Rumble featuring stars like Keith Lee, Roman Reigns, Kyle O'Reilly and Damian Priest, and the Women's Rumble featuring stars like Rhea Ripley, Deonna Purrazzo, Io Shirai and Ember Moon, and of course 26 other people in each match. Going to be incredible. A 98 for that promo video. Very happy. Before we have the main event, the earlier mentioned tag team match featuring Bullard Brand members Apollo Crews and Cameron Grimes taking on the Universal Championship #1 contender Finn Balor and the man he beat to win that comeback #1 contender Keith Lee. And in the end, after a great matchup between the two teams, it's Balor and Lee who come out on top. Finn Balor hitting Cameron Grimes with the coup de grace and covering for the win for a 90. Amazing main event, very happy. 88 for Lee, 86 Balor, 75 Crews, 68 Grimes. No complaints on my end as Balor and Lee get their arms raised after the match. Thaddeus Bullard coming out onto the ramp and looking down at his challenger Finn Balor, at the man who's been causing him so many problems, Keith Lee, and he's not happy for a 90 as suddenly the lights begin to flicker between on and off, between red and black, smoke billowing around and covering up all the way up to Thaddeus Bullard's legs, him looking around confused as Finn Balor smiles from the ring. Thaddeus Bullard has pissed off Finn Balor, and in doing so, a few weeks back he did it, and it seems he may have done it again come the Rumble, awoken the demon for an 86. Once again, all the angles this SmackDown's really incredible. Overall rating, SmackDown this week gets a 93. Very happy with that. What an end to the Go Home shows. What an end to January heading into the Rumble, which hopefully will also do really well and get a really high rating with some really good matchups. I'll just go over the Rumble card for you now one last time. For the vacant SmackDown Tag Team titles is a fatal 4-way tag team match. The United States Champion Xavier Woods and Mustafa Ali taking on the New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston, taking on the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, taking on the former SmackDown Tag Team Champion Socrates Torres and his fellow Bullard Brand member LA Knight. The NXT Women's title up for grabs as Raquel Gonzalez defends against former champ Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox pinned Raquel Gonzalez at War Games. Can she do it again to win the NXT Women's title? We'll have to wait and see. The Women's Universal Championship up for grabs. Shayna Baszler defends her gold against Asuka. Two massive superstars, two dominant superstars, two submission specialists, both going out for the win, but who will come out on top? The NXT title up for grabs as Chad Gable defends his gold against Timothy Thatcher in a no-holds-barred match. Thatcher showing his brutality on Orton, on Regal, on Jordan, and Gable finally getting his hands on him. But can Gable come out on top, or will he have made a big mistake in making this no-holds-barred? The women's world title on the line as Sasha Banks defends her gold against her former best friend Bayley. Bayley says she wants to knock some sense into Banks, but Banks says Bayley can't even touch the boss, let alone knock some sense into her. Who will leave the Royal Rumble with that women's world title round their waist? A match building for a while with the Universal title up for grabs. Thaddeus Balor defends his gold against the demon Finn Balor. And when these two superstars go head to head, you can't contain them. Extreme Rules. Who will leave with that Universal Championship? Can Balor do it, or will the demon be too much? Will Balor finally regain the Universal title? For the WWE Championship, Adam Cole defends against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens won the chance to pick the stipulation. He made it very clear. If Adam Cole is disqualified, counted out, or any members of the Undisputed Era get involved, Adam Cole will lose that WWE Championship. Can Adam Cole do it on his own? We'll have to wait and see. And of course, with it being the Rumble, we have both the 30-man Royal Rumble match featuring the likes of Keith Lee, Roman Reigns, Kyle O'Reilly, Damian Priest, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Samoa Joe, and so many more amazing superstars, as well as, of course, the 30 Women's Royal Rumble with so many incredible superstars, too many to count, amazing superstars, two stacked Rumble matches, and a stacked card overall. I cannot wait, and I hope you can't either. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to the Royal Rumble, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel to see when that Royal Rumble video drops on Saturday, and thank you for watching.